Come on, sis. Stand in solidarity with us today as we talk to some real people. Our topic today is on mental health from a professional's perspective, so you don't want to miss this. I am your host, truly Porsha, and I am here to give hope and generational wealth to the misguided people.
Our mission is to educate and empower Black women with tools to elevate through sisterhood and self-care. I'm your host, Stacy J, and a little bit about me. I have a passion for mentoring young Black women to help them find their own light.
Yes. I got to say it just gets better and better and better every time. Okay. So we have a very special guest woman. Just, oh my gosh, Black girl magic is all up in here. Okay. And I want you to meet Krystal Vaughan, your favorite therapist and mental health ambassador. It is her passion to dispel the misbeliefs and stigmas about mental health and empower everyone with a mental health disorder that they are not their disorder. It's just a part of who you are. So the first question, we just want to jump right on into it. Krystal, what made you want to enter the field of mental health? And do you have a specialization?
Yes. Hi, everybody. So absolutely. I have a specialization. I love the population of our children, our youth. There is no age limit, but I also love to work with leaders. I love to work with individuals who are entrepreneurs. I love to work with individuals who are trying to understand exactly where to go next. I also love to work with individuals who are called in the church arena as well, just to give them some guidance as well. So that is, my passion, my heart. I got in the field of mental health about 16, 17 years ago. I know I don't look no older than 20, but
right?
I got it.
Goodness. What in the world?
I have been, yes, I have been in for a very long time now. I was blessed to get in the field when I actually was in school. I was getting my bachelor's degree in marriage and family therapy. Human services and counseling, and I got my master's in marriage and family therapy and continued my education on to hopefully receive my doctorate, but I was able to work the entire time. So I pretty much have done everything you can possibly think of, but my passion is still outpatient therapy. So I love it. I honestly feel like it's not talked about enough. So I just want to reach as many people as humanly possible in any capacity I can, just to have a conversation. If that's it, just to have a conversation.
I love that. That's awesome that you just make it so simple, like just have a conversation, because a lot of times people think it's this hard thing. And so especially in our community. So when it comes to mental health, it's long been stigmatized in our community, in the Black community. So do you feel like things are starting to change, and why or why not are things changing?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. I do believe that it's starting to change, but I believe that we have a long way to go. Why? Because between 2008 to 2018, we have seen an increase of people who are actually okay with identifying that they have mental health in the African-American community, that they have either a serious mental illness. We have about 1.1 million people who now say that they have, that, I have a serious mental illness. And is roughly about 4.6 million, get it 16% that will say I've had a mental illness. So I've had, whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, whether it's, just not being okay, whether bipolar, all those things. But now is okay, is becoming normalized, because you have a lot more celebrities who are taking an interest, who are able to say, hey, me too, I have this issue as well. But it's still a work in progress. We still have a long ways to go, but I'm grateful about the progress that we have made, because before it was not always this way. I've been in it now for 16, going on 17 years, and still part of my family has a difficult time saying, oh, I need to go and talk to somebody. So, it's still a taboo, but it's still getting a lot better. So it's just a great thing to see, but we still have a long ways to go. And the reason why I say that is because in 2019, for individuals the ages around 15 to 24, suicidal ideations or suicide was the highest level of death by suicide.
Wow.
So yeah, we still have a long ways to go for 15
And so
year
that
olds.
was even like before, that was pre-pandemic,
Yes.
pre-COVID-19.
That was 2019 when that came out. Yes.
Okay. And so you mentioned a word that a lot of people may not, or a phrase that a lot of people may not have heard before, suicide ideation. Can you explain what that means?
Yes. So it goes a little deeper than just saying that I'm sad, just saying that I'm having feelings of hopelessness. Suicide ideations is, I'm having thoughts of harming myself. I've thought it out. I may not have an attempt, but I've gotten to the point of that I actually have thought out how I'm going to harm myself. Or even it can be as simple as I just don't want to wake up anymore. If I go in my sleep, I just don't want to wake up anymore. That's still an ideation. That's still a mark, that's saying, hey, I need help. Somebody talk to me, somebody pay attention to me. So that's just the ideation. But once we move from the depression, the feelings of hopelessness, and then we get to the ideation, that's another step before, okay, now we're at the point of actual death by suicide. So
yeah. So before we move on, I will just share, because we talk about so many different things in this space. And the main thing that I want people to realize, Black women, that this is a safe space. And I want to be super, super transparent. I knew exactly what suicide ideation was because I experienced that. Mm-hmm. And it was probably around maybe 2017, 2018. Mm-hmm. I had it all planned out. I went to the store and bought a bottle of sleeping pills. Mm-hmm. I washed all my clothes, folded all my clothes. And one of the things that has stopped me, and I say I washed all my clothes, folded all my clothes, because I just wanted things to be neat and tidy when somebody was going to find me. And the thing that stopped me, not just, obviously God, but I did not want my husband to come home and find me in the bed and then have to still live in this house after his wife had decided to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, I don't want my siblings to have to explain to my nieces and nephews about why Stacy did this. And I didn't want my parents to have to bury a child. I didn't want to give them that type of pain. Mm-hmm. And then so it was all basically me saying, okay, I want to stay here for this person. I want to stay here for that person. And then I said, you know what, God, if I commit suicide, people are going to be upset with me. I'm even thinking like this. I'm like, I don't want people to be upset with me even in death. So I said, God, if you please just don't wake me up, because then they'll be mad at you and you can handle that. But even in death, I didn't want people, my loved ones, to be mad at me. And people will say, okay, well, suicide is selfish or this and that, but it's a mental illness. Things, it can creep up on you. And when you don't take care of yourself, it snatches you and it puts you in a noose. It puts you in a chokehold. And before you realize it, you making plans. You're going to the grocery store to buy the pills or, whatever it is. And it was a uphill battle. I was living in Portsmouth, driving to Richmond every day for work. And I was about to get on the interstate. And something said, if you go today, you're not going to make it back home. So I did a U-turn, came back home, because in my mind, I had already planned the stretch of road on 64 where I was going to go 80 miles per hour and just let my car veer off the road.
Mm-hmm.
I had already planned these things out. But I am so grateful to God for who
Yes.
he is, because I realize now that the enemy was trying to stop me from two things. Number one, giving birth to Josiah, because he is going to be somebody in this world. Number two, giving birth to this space and this dream, because we are going to help so many women who look like us. And so I just encourage anybody who is listening to this, that if you are in that space where you are thinking about suicide and you're ashamed or embarrassed, don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed. So many of us have experienced this, but I sought help. And I still have a counselor who I speak to regularly. And speaking with her helps me manage everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you are the strong person, people don't realize that you need to be poured into as well, and you need to be checked in on. And so I allowed myself the grace to be vulnerable and say, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want this space to be. I want it to be a safe space for people to come and say, I need help. If I can just come and listen to y'all, if I can just, if y'all can just reach out to me, I need help. This is what we are here for. Like, we laugh and joke all the time. That's one of the things that I just, I just love it. But when it comes to fighting battles of mental health and spiritual warfare, I ain't no punk. I will tell you, the devil almost got me that time. He almost got me. But like I said, thanks be unto God who always causes me to triumph. I'm still here.
That is phenomenal. And I'm so grateful that you shared it, because it is not talked about enough. It's just not. It is just not talked about enough, but it is so common. And I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to bring the point to, even when you were preparing, your mind was still not on what do I need. It was on the weight of what you were carrying, because it was, I'm a wife, so let me make sure that the house is tidy. I'm a sister, so let me make sure that they're okay. I'm a daughter, so let me make sure. I'm a friend, so let me make sure. And it was rolling, and it is trauma. But because we are built, and it's nothing against our parents, it is nothing against our culture, but it's just how we were ingrained because of the history that we carry. Because of our culture, especially as African-American women, we were created to carry everything, but nobody taught us how to lay down everything. And that's when it becomes a problem, because we carry it so well. Listen to me. I can carry a lot. I can carry my entire family, my entire community, my entire being on my back, on my shoulders, but nobody ever teaches me how to lay it down, even if it's just for a moment. Even if it's just to catch my breath. I need to be able to catch my breath, because it's heavy. It can be so heavy mentally that it causes the physical body to crush on the inside, because your lungs can't get enough air, and that's an anxiety attack. That's an anxiety attack. You're panicking. And how many deaths come by panic attacks? How many deaths come? But it is just that we have to learn. And it is normal to say that I need help. It is normal to say, because listen, everybody, if I took a poll, which maybe one day I will, everybody has the moment of, I don't want to no more. I can't. I have moments of, this is heavy today. I don't want to know anymore. And I know that's bad grammar, I'm sorry, but I don't want to anymore. I just need a moment, just a moment where I can just be me and breathe. And not have to carry it all, not have to acknowledge what you need to be okay. But especially for as strong ones, It's okay. She got it. It's okay. Stacy has it. It's okay. Porsha has it. They're good. Because we've even got to the point of we know how to beat our face 15 minutes in the car, boop, 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 and get outside and be like, hey, how are you?
Yes.
You good?
Put that mask on, like everything is okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's not okay. It is not okay when it can say 2 minutes to say, hey, how are you doing? You okay? Okay, well, just know, and not because I know we have the stigma too of, oh, I don't want to tell everybody my business. You don't have to. I'm the person, even though I'm a therapist, I'm not even going to ask you your business, to be completely honest. I'm not. I'm just going to say, you good? Okay, just know I got your back, and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
So that even in the moments, in your low moments, because everybody has low moments, it's just how we cope with them that causes it to become a problem. But we all have low moments. So in those low moments, you make him remember, oh, Krystal said she got my back. That's one person that has my back. My mom said she got my back. My pastor, my brother, my sister, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whoever, they got my back. And they're going to be bothered if I'm not here. But I'll give you one better. I'm going to be bothered if I'm not here because there's purpose. Yes, your amazingly handsome son would not be here, and this platform would not be here. But even your purpose that hasn't been tapped into yet wouldn't be here. It's greater than just this platform.
Oh my goodness, Krystal. Girl,
I'm sorry.
Get off my Zoom meeting. Get off my Zoom meeting.
Sorry,
like, for real,
I didn't mean to. But it is.
Yeah, like it is. My purpose is just, and Porsha and I talk about this all the time. Like, we just want to help people and touch so many lives. And as long as we stay faithful and keep God first, like, it is nothing that we will not be able to do. And so I'm thankful for life.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for life. And I'm happy that I just decided to, well, first of all, I'm happy that God did not hear that prayer, you know, and I feel very light these days. I feel easy and free these days. And it took a while for me to get here, but it's been years that I have decided that this space is where I will call home. Yeah, it's going to be days and things like that, but I'm going to make effort to, stay here. So.
Awesome.
Lord, I was not ready for this.
Oh my God, Stacy.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you are.
No, have to apologize. That's part of the problem.
You
do not have to apologize.
No, you don't. And your life, your purpose. Oh my gosh, like everything you two just shared, it's amazing and it's necessary. The timeliness of all of this that we're doing, that we're talking about, it's bigger than us. It really is. So as long as we continue to be faithful, and it's a sign too that, like, no matter what age you are, like you shared already, Krystal, everybody has their low moments. I'm in my 20s, but as a teenager, I was pretty much already calling myself, ending it for myself already before I even knew what adulthood would be like. And here Stacy is just open and transparent and honest and beautiful and blossoming and just everything Black and beautiful, like just sharing her story, and like, you're still here. Yeah. I would have never thought that you would have, thought about taking your life. Like, I told you I felt about you when you walked into that office, girl. She was just everything I've never seen in real life. Oh my gosh. And then just talking to you, like your spirit, like your aura, just, oh my gosh. It's amazing. It's overwhelmingly, like, amazing. And then to hear Krystal talk, you can hear both of you speaking life into people like me, the younger females who are just struggling and feel like they're carrying everything on their own. Stacy, you know, like I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I'm in my 20s. I'm in the city all by myself, no family, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But to hear Krystal, I'm like, I need that on a t-shirt. Like, we know how to carry it, but we don't know how to lay it down. Like, I felt that all in my shana.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
somebody teach me how to lay it down. Like, cause I really don't. I don't even know what that means. Cause I'll put one thing down and then think of all of the 100 other things that I could be doing, like with my time, or how everybody else need this, that, and the third. And half of those people, honestly, aren't even calling me, like bugging me about certain stuff. They're not stressing me, but I'm worried about like, how are they going to make it? But you two, I should have got the tissue. Like, you guys can't do this to me. Like, I wasn't ready.
I was not ready for this. I'm like, I got Kleenex in here because Josiah got a cold, but I'm like,
listen, no, but again, like I told you guys before, I appreciate you guys just having the space, because it is, you know, necessary. It's not that common as we would assume, just to talk about it, or just to have the space for somebody to, you know, pick it up on their phone. I can easily tap into YouTube on my phone and listen to it on my way to work or wherever, you know, I am. So it's so necessary. So don't think for a moment that the things that you're going through is, it clouds our judgment. It clouds our, you know, everything. So we can't see. That's what the enemy's purpose is. It's to cloud our judgment, our mind. If he can, he can tap your body. He can tap your pockets. But if he gets control of your mind,
that is
a battle in itself. But it happens to the strongest. Understand? I'm not gonna be churchy tonight, because
you better preach that word, girl.
You know, we can go through the Bible and see the greatest of the greats attacks in their mind.
Yes, that's so true.
You have to always, how do we lay it down? Boundaries. How do we lay it down? Identifying what's okay and what's not okay for us. How do we lay it down? By saying no. And being okay with that no. They'll live. It's okay. How do we land it down? By taking it off, by acknowledging things when they actually happen, and stop doing what we've been so trained to do, to suppress. Oh, it's okay, I'm good, because that's what strong people do. We don't let anything bother us, but that's not actual strength, sweetheart. That's weakness. Because if we say that it bothers us, then I have to actually do something with it, because it bothered me. But if I say that I'm good and put on this facade of, I'm good, he ain't bother me, I'm good, that didn't break my heart, I'm good, my family doing, I'm straight, I'm strong, I can take anything. That's the and not to put this label, the poverty, the hood mentality of, I'm good, we don't gotta do, I'm straight, I'm fine. That's not true. We're not. We've just been conditioned and trained to keep moving, which the keep moving part is the strong. Like, yeah, it's great to be able to keep moving, but it's not always, you know, possible to keep moving. We have to be able to lay some of it down. We have to be able to pick some of it up, not all of it up, all at the same time. Find our one thing that we want to focus on. Put boundaries in place for everybody, including ourselves, including our immediate family. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. Go ahead, y'all.
No. This is good. I'm soaking all of this in, and it's
what we need. It's what we need. Like I tell Stacy all the time, just by her upbringing and the stories that she shared with me, I've never heard of a Black family like hers, a Black marriage like hers. And then what you're speaking on when it comes to mental health, yes, I've seen a therapist too, but what you've just touched on, I've seen this woman over 10 times. She didn't hit nowhere near what you just said within a half hour.
Gotcha. And that's because everybody has their different styles. My theory, why I like psychology, because I'm just a little bit of a nerd. I like to understand the theories and the modalities and the interventions. And even when finding a therapist, I think there's somewhere down in the questions, but even when you finding a therapist, you want to make sure that you find a therapist that actually adapts to who you are. And that's, again, boundaries. Because let me find a therapist who I feel like can relate to me and will understand what I'm going through. I'm a female therapist, but I have a male therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to acknowledge what I needed at that moment. Not saying I needed any male attention, but because of the things that I had to deal with from my past, I needed a male Black therapist. At that, is a reason why we choose who we choose. And don't be fearful of, okay, ma'am, this is not working. This is what I'm looking for. Ask them what modalities they use. I'm a therapist that on your first session, I'm going to identify what type of therapist I am, because I know I'm super blunt, and everybody can't take the super blunt therapist. Some people do need a little more passive, and there is nothing wrong. There are some phenomenal therapists out there. I'm not the only one. Phenomenal therapists out there. Psychology Today, is other ways that you can get them, but it is necessary to identify what you're looking for. I believe in Gestalt theory, because Gestalt theory, he, personalized on the relationship with your therapist. And I believe in solution focused therapy, because let's get to the problem. Some people like to, deal with the history of what's going on. That's not me. I'm a little bit more impatient. Blame it on my ADHD if you want to. Let's just get to the meat and the potatoes. That's more me. But I enjoy building that relationship with my clients too. I want to get to know you. Let me tell you some things about me. So it's, even if it takes time too, but you also have to know what is it that I'm looking for, and be okay with going from that person to that person to that person until you find what you're looking for. But I salute you, Porsha, on sticking it out, because I know a lot of people's like, no, session 1. Okay, no, it's gonna take a lot longer than one session, y'all. Please give people time. Let them try.
Yeah, and then that's my first time going to a therapist too. Like when I was younger, I did have I went to like a big sister program, and I had a mental health counselor, but it didn't last long. I think she ended up cutting me off. Like she decided not to keep me. It probably was too much. Like I went through a lot, like as a teenager and whatnot. But even then, still, like I looked at mental health and therapy, like, oh, I don't need that. Like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm not crazy, right? So I don't need a therapist. And the question that I would love to ask you, because I'm sure the people need this. Come on, sis. Like they need this. What's the most common misconception that people have about mental health therapy?
You said it. I don't need it. I'm not crazy. I don't need therapy. That's for crazy people. I even have a family member, and he's my favorite person. And he would tell me, Chris, what is it that you do again? Yeah, y'all need to go see her because such and such and such. But when I bring it up to him, do you want? No, no, I don't need that. No, I don't need that stuff. He just be like, just be like, okay. But, and also too, another large stigma is that is a sign of weakness. You have about 63% of Black people believe that it's a sign of weakness when you have to say that, oh, I need help. Because again, we've been conditioned and trained to identify that we don't need anybody. When in actuality, I regret to inform everybody. Actually, I don't regret to inform you. We're people, meaning everybody needs somebody. I'm sorry, you're not an island. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, transparent moment. I tried it. I don't need nobody. I'm good. Because of the things that I experienced in my past, because of my trauma. I don't need anybody. Don't get too close. Back up. I don't need you. And that's just a trauma experience of me saying, oh, well, I'm not going to allow you even the opportunity to hurt me. I'm not going to let you get close enough that you can hurt me because of the things that I experienced. But that is not healthy at all. It didn't do anything but keep me secluded and then keep all the good out as well. So it taught me very negative behaviors at a very young age. So that is the biggest thing. Like, oh, it's weakness. Oh, I'm not crazy. When it's just a conversation, we just talking, sis. We just talking.
Yeah.
And it's confidential.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to mention too, that it is confidential. You by law cannot go and speak on certain people, you know what I mean, your patients, and identifying them. So I mean, by law you can't.
Right.
So Yeah.
But I explain it every single time. And I with my kid clients, I make a joke of like, Miss Krystal love orange and I love plaid, but I don't want to wear it every day. I'm not getting locked up for telling your business. Okay. And not to say that that's what's going to happen, but that's how they relate. Like, oh, she really not going to say nothing then. But it's so like, what happens in my house stays in my house. You know, we don't say it. And because the sad thing is that it is so quickly to get out. But what I tell everybody is that these are your safe four walls. Like, this is your way that you can express yourself in any way that you feel the need to. And it stays here. I don't care how you do it. And it stays here. So,
yeah. So let's talk a little bit about boundaries, because we mentioned that a few times. So a lot of times we think that boundaries can be putting up barriers, but you mentioned on social media that boundaries can be good and invite people to learn how to deal with you, how to handle you as a person. So what are some healthy ways to kind of introduce boundaries to people?
The first step in doing that, you have to identify boundaries for yourself. You have to take control back into who you are and identify what's okay and what's not okay. And the only way that you can do that is by learning who you are. Because it's so easy, like, yeah, I can do it because you want to help. Yeah. And you want to be liked and you want to, be cool and accepted and the popular. But no, identify what's okay and what's not okay for you. And then when you're saying, okay, this is okay, and you don't have to do it abruptly, you don't have to do it rudely, anything like that. Hey, you said you was going to do this, but you didn't. That wasn't okay for me. And then that gives them the opportunity to learn you, to say, oh, you know what? She's not that person that's going to, and not saying that, oh, I'm big and bad, so I'm not going to let you treat me any type of way. No, I'm just going to respect her. It's all about respect, but you have to respect yourself first. So if you don't respect you, you can't teach anybody how to respect you. And that's what boundaries do. Boundaries allow you to teach them how to treat you. So the easiest way, identify what's okay for you. Hey, it is not okay for you to call me at midnight. I'm sorry, I am old. So it better be an emergency. Call me at midnight. It is not okay, but like, I am really, really big about my space. If you do not call me, even my immediate and extended family knows, and friends, if you don't call Krystal to tell her that you're coming to her house, guess who's not going to open the door? And I could be sitting in the house. Guess who is not going to open that door? And not because I'm trying to be funny, but understand that I do this all day. You talking to people, you do this. So I got to have, and I'm an introvert. I have to have my time to pull back a little bit. Like, oh, I need a moment.
Wow. Okay. Wait. So you identify as an introvert?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
But I don't use it as a crutch. I just know me. By saying that I'm an introvert, it's just saying I need to know when some people are energized by being around a lot of people. They're fueled by that. I'm not. It exhausts me. So even as being a therapist, I get drained by all the talk, go. I can turn on the extrovert's behaviors when I need to, but understand I'm gonna need probably about at the end of the day, I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit and be quiet. I sit in my car and I have my own house. Nobody stays in my house with me. None of that stuff. I sit in the car in the parking lot as if somebody inside, but that's the time that I need to, I'm just going to sit here. It could be an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes when I get off. Even today, I'm going to go home and it's going to take me a second to get out of the car because that's my time. I need to refuel.
That's interesting. I am the same way too. I identify as an introvert, but like you said, I can turn on the extrovert when I need to, but it's exhausting. So I have to kind of go back into my shell and recharge. And depending on how much energy I had to exert will determine how much time I need to recharge. It could be an hour, it could be a day. So yeah.
But boundaries say, listen, my friend, no, don't say that she's gonna go out because she's not. Like, don't go. If she had a long week, understand she's not going anywhere. Like, and she's okay. Or don't just pop up because she's probably not gonna open the door. You might want to call first. Like, even my family, no, don't just pop up, like, because I'm just that protective of my space and of my time. And there's not anything wrong with that. I love them immensely. I'll give them the shirt off my back, but I need a moment to recharge.
Right. Yeah.
Stacy, I think we need to jump right into the mindfulness techniques. Like you guys just touched on some stuff right there. So sitting in the car, would you consider that being like a mindful technique, or like what are some simple ways that you can think of where we all can be more mindful?
So the art of mindfulness is more so, yeah, I can sit in my car, but it's what I'm doing when I'm in the car. The art of mindfulness means I have to be in tune with all of my senses. So if I'm sitting, I can do a lot of deep breathing and learning how to breathe. When you breathe from your diaphragm, you inhale and you push your belly out at the same time. So that's proper breathing to release. I'm breathing, but my tummy is being pushed out at the same time, and you can hold it and then release it. But when mindfulness says, I have to feel how all that is running through my body. And so it's keeping you from allowing your mind to go all over the place. It's bringing you really in tune to right here. Mindfulness is I'm mindful of my present behaviors and actions and emotions and feelings. So that's the mindfulness. You can feel when you're deep, where you can lay on the floor. And that's actually one of my favorites, because I like the cold floor. I know, a little weird, but you can lay on the floor and I feel all of my senses through my body. Like, ooh, I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling, and I'm feeling how, I'm releasing the day, releasing everything that you may have taken on for that day, releasing all of it in that moment, just like, whoo, so that you can get up and do it all over again. So, but mindfulness is a very good practice, because you want to, make sure that you have the opportunity to release all of it out when you're breathing. I'm releasing all of the oxygen out. And you can call it bad or tense emotions, whatever it may be, tense feelings, releasing it all out and then relaxing in it.
Okay.
So
that's good. That's really good information. And I do like laying on the cold floor too, but that's only really when I'm sick. I just go in the bathroom and just lay on the cold floor. Anyway, all right. So if there was one thing that you want people to know concerning their mental health, what would that be?
It's okay not to be okay. Because we put on so many masks every day. It's okay not to be okay, but you have to acknowledge that you're not okay. Because when we put on a fake mask of I'm okay, then you're never going to feel the need to reach out. But it's okay to not be okay. And you are not your diagnosis. We do not need to, use it as a crutch and make it seem like that, well, I have this, so this stops me from doing. No, it doesn't stop you from doing anything. It should push you to be greater and to overcome and to understand, but not to stop.
So is that what you mean by crutches are for broken bones, not for mental health?
That is exactly what I mean by crutches are for broken bones, because you need a crutch to lean on when your foot is broken or leg is broken, because you need that additional support. But you do not use a crutch in mental health. When you use it, it enables negative behaviors. You want to acknowledge and understand, but you don't want to enable it. And I may have some therapists who disagree with me, and that's their perspective, that's their right. But I know for me, please don't come and say, well, I am bipolar, so this means I can do A, B, C, and D. No, it doesn't. Who told you that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You're bipolar, so you have the responsibility to yourself to identify your behaviors and develop the coping mechanisms to make sure that you are doing what you need to do and being the healthiest person possible for yourself, not for society, for yourself.
Woo! I like that. And I went to school with a lot of young Black men who are today, it's sad, honestly, to think like, if only they would have gotten, if they would have sought mental health while they were in high school, a lot of them wouldn't be in the situation or in the places where they are now. And the numbers are just like growing. It's scary because like where I come from, it's a lot of single parent households, right? The mom raising either a daughter or a son on her own. of course, trauma, brokenness, but to hear you say that, like they owe it, no, you have to do that for yourself. Don't use those things as an excuse. Like, where were you guys when I was coming up? Like, where was this? Now, I went to an awesome after school program. I told Stacy this before. The lady, Miss Jackie, like she's going for her doctorate too right now. It's amazing.
Miss Jackie.
It's amazing, like what you women are doing. Like it's mind blowing. And she did a lot for me and the other kids that went to the after school program, but it wasn't enough of her. It was just her pretty much. They had other staff too, don't get me wrong, shout out to them, but at the same time, there was this Black woman in this mental health role. Like I've never even thought twice about like, oh, it counts. It makes a difference if you just write down your feelings, like write it out or scream if you need to. Like you can feel those feelings. Like having somebody tell me that coming from the house, we're like, no, you can't have that attitude. Not even talking back, right? But I couldn't express myself. Like, Stacy, I need her like after this meeting. Like,
oh my God.
After this, like how much you charge an hour? Like, come on.
Porsha, real talk. I was sitting here thinking a while ago. I was thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna tell Porsha she need to go ahead and switch on over.
Because I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure the lady gonna see us one day. My therapist that I was going to. You doing your thing. But
yes, but like she said, it's okay if the fit is not right, if it's not what you need, so you have to do what's best for you.
So Krystal, can you describe that again? Like what advice would you give someone who's seeking, a professional therapist? What should they look for?
So one, you want to identify somebody who actually relates to you, like can understand exactly what it is that you're going through. But a little bit more than that is your personality should match a little, like enough where it's like, okay, I actually can glean from them. Because understand, as a therapist, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm actually just here to help you through your journey, but I'm here to help you acknowledge what it is that you need to do by giving you different skills, giving you different pointers, like, okay, we can do this, maybe helping you see it from a different perspective. That is what we're here for. But if you're looking for a therapist, one, understand that that's a process in itself. Like, don't just give up on time one. At least give the people, and I tell it to everybody, at least give them 3 sessions, because the first session, we're gleaning information. We haven't even had the opportunity to get to know each other. But then 2, tell them what it is that you're looking for. Don't just think that because they're the professional that they know everything. No, we don't. We do not know you better than you know yourself. So before you even come into therapy, one, you should identify what it is that I'm looking for. Yes, I believe that everybody needs a therapist. Everybody, even myself, everybody needs a therapist. But I have to acknowledge exactly what it is that I'm looking for in that therapist too. So if I'm looking for someone who can understand exactly where I'm coming through for my childhood, and we all have different specialties. Like some people specialize in trauma, some people specialize in grief, some people specialize in substance abuse, some people specialize in family, children, spirituality, for other therapists, leaders, we all have different specialties. So you want to make sure that you're not just picking a name out of the hat or drawing someone out of the hat. So I like Psychology Today because it allows you, and you can find me on Psychology Today, but I like Psychology Today because it allows you to look at everything that they specialize. We had to list, like, this is what, what we do. This is what we believe in. This is, how the theories that we use, all those things. Like we had to give a statement, what it is that, why do we believe that we're able to help you? So all those things are impactful. Understand, race is a big thing. Culture is a big thing. Don't just be okay with, oh, well, they're a therapist and they have this many degrees and they've been in it for so long. But if they can't identify that is the issue, me being followed around the store because I'm Black, then it doesn't matter what degree. Don't try to pacify my, experience because it's not your experience. So everything matters. You just have to you give yourself the opportunity to, list them out. This is what I'm looking for, and understand and be able to acknowledge if something bothers you and tell them that, oh, this bothers me. I didn't like it when you said this. I didn't like it when you minimized. And this is nothing against him, but just a small transparent. My first therapist that I ever tried. And as a therapist, it is difficult for us to find therapists because our brain goes to comparing what they should have done and what they should not have done. But I'll never forget, this therapist was like, what does a pretty young girl like you have going on that's such a problem?
Wow.
Sir, and I knew what he meant. He was attempting to make me feel comfortable, but you didn't know what was wrong. So that made me say, oh, nothing. And I went on and left right out. But you have to understand, you have to identify what you're looking for and what you're not looking for, and we make mistakes too. So, but being able to say, hey, if spirituality is a really big thing for you and you want to be able to relate with someone who believes what you believe, then ask that question too. Even though they're not going to tell you they're like, oh, you got to believe in this, that, and third. They shouldn't. But if you still want to have, if that's something that's important to you, you want to have that common interest, then you should be able to say it. So the big thing is just give it time. Give it time. At least give them 3 sessions. At least give them 3 sessions. The first session is just, we're gleaning information. The second session, we're continuing to get that assessment. And the third session is when we okay, we're developing a good plan. We're getting to know each other a little bit more. So that's when I can make a better sound decision, but don't just base it off the first session. So,
yeah, that's good. This whole talk with you has just been phenomenal. So if there's anything else you want to share with your sisters that that you feel like you really, really want them to know, just anything that you want to share.
So I love you guys' logo of fixing your crown. We're fixing each other's crown. Mm-hmm. But I also want my sisters to know that sometimes you can take your crown off. Ooh. You can take it off, and it's okay to put it to the side for a second. To work on you and understand, Lord knows, understand that the process of healing and growth in your journey is going to be painful. I'm sorry if nobody's told you, but it's going to hurt. It's not a surgery on this earth that you can go through and not have a little pain after. Mm-hmm. But once you get through that, you're healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the process of that surgery, baby, you cut open, you hurt. Yeah. It hurts.
I love that. And a part of our logo is the caterpillar going into the cocoon and then emerging as a butterfly. And Maya Angelou has a quote, something like, everyone is always in awe of the beauty of the butterfly, but never stops to think about what it took to get there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely. It's a process, and it's a transformation. And that's why I really like that whole caterpillar to butterfly kind of analogy or whatever. But yeah.
Ladies, next time I'm gonna make sure I bring my tissue because I'm just feeling like, look, I just need to talk to you real quick. Let me holler at you. Because the stuff I'm going through, and Stacy,
Listen, you can talk to me. It's okay.
You just said it gave me chills because I promise you, I sat on my bed earlier. I made my little vision board in my bedroom, so it's hanging on my wall, right? And just to think about everything I've been through, and here I am, in my 20s. I'm 27, trying to work on myself and really understand who I am now. With 2 kids, and I didn't really set boundaries. I didn't set any boundaries, when I started out dating and stuff like that. And things just, they're getting a little uglier than what I was expecting, since I'm really facing my truths, right? I've already said, admitted to what I've been through as a child and stuff like that. I'm not blaming anybody, but just to feel the pain, right? And not suppress it, actually feel the stuff, take the makeup off, look at who I am now, after having 2 kids, to stand in the mirror today and just look at who I am. This is tough. And I know it's like things I want to change with my weight, my career, pretty much every aspect of my life. I want to improve, but I sat on the side of my bed earlier today. I said, healing is painful. And to hear you say that just now, y'all too.
Wow. That's confirmation that you are in the right space at the right time.
Yes.
God is so amazing in how he connects all the little dots, things that we don't even pay attention to. He has just orchestrated it so beautifully. I love y'all. I love us.
I love y'all too. This is
nice. Yes, I love you too.
Yes.
Stacy, you know, like it really touched my heart too, because like I lost my mom last year and that was her name. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And you're just touching on like, yeah, we need you back. And I would love to do like some live Q&As, like, yes. So
I'm all here for it.
Speaking of getting contact with you, staying in contact with you, you have a website. So please tell our sisters what they can expect there and how they can find you.
So my website is www.krystal, V as in Victor, AUGHAN.com, KrystalVaughan.com. I have to spell it out because my name can be a little tricky sometimes. But on my website, is a couple blogs there. It's the way to contact me there. It is a little store there, Normalized Therapy. It is just a way to subscribe when blogs do come out, like just opportunities to glean in more information, more information. You can also catch me on Instagram, Dr. Krystal Vaughan. I think that's my tag. Yeah, let me check my tag. Wait a minute.
I know, right?
I think it's Dr. Krystal Vaughan. Facebook is just Krystal Vaughan. So, and then honestly, I'm on Psychology Today. You can reach me anywhere. I promise you I respond because it really is just my heart to help people, but even as a helper with boundaries. So, because I want you guys to know too, like, yeah, you're helpers. That's great. The helpers have to have boundaries too. So hopefully.
Also, I do want to mention, because on your website, because I checked it all out, you are in the process of finishing a book.
So my wonderful friend and brand ambassador, all that good jazz, she added that we are going back and forth about this whole book idea. It is going to come. Understand that it is going to come, yes. But I want to, as I told her, I want to finish the first book of this dissertation first, and then we can go to the second book.
Yeah.
Like, let's finish the first book first.
One thing at a time.
Right. So, but it is going to come. It is going to come.
Good. Well, I definitely look forward to it, because even just from the cover, and I'm looking to the left because I have it up on my computer, and Mental Health and Me, 30 Days of Healing and Devotions by Krystal Vaughan. Girl, let me tell you, this whole Zoom meeting ain't nothing but Black girl magic. Like,
absolutely.
Like, put the world on notice. We coming. We snatching wigs.
All of that. All of that. Yes. And you guys are giving us a space to do that. So again, kudos.
Yes. And just to make sure that we don't forget any of our sisters, I do want to make sure I share this with you. Stacy, you shared earlier, if there's anybody out there suffering in silence, this is your safe space. But more importantly, I do want you to understand that we have created a helpline list on our Instagram page. If you go to the highlights, we have a list of helplines where you can reach out to the suicide line, mental health, substance hotline. And I don't want to forget about anybody who's suffering financially. There's a ton of resources out here for rent assistance. No, I'm not just talking about those who have kids. There are grants out here for you to help you financially. Use the resources.
That's awesome.
Yes. All right. This has been such an amazing meeting, Krystal. I love you. I thank you for your time. Porsha, as usual, you know you are my girl. My sisters out there, we love you.
We love you.
We just want you all to understand, like Krystal said, it's okay to put your crown down. Take a moment for yourself and release yourself from the title of being strong. It's okay. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Definitely share, because there's so many people who need to hear what has been said tonight. Thank y'all so much. And again, take care. Until next time.
Bye.
Take care.